ups. We buried the lead. Xander Schauffele closing with the bird 6. HRP is what we're talking about. Now, please don't call HR on us because we mess HRP, and let them come to your business and check it out. They will break down exactly HRP. HRP.net, 281-880-6525 or HRP.net.
It's a big time for people who are looking to get engaged this summer. This is where your time is spent finding the ring, finding the right type of engagement ring, not just the diamond that you want. Now, of course, that's a big one, but also just the setting and the way the ring looks. And you want something unique. You want something that really is going to be a memory that's created not just for now, but 20, 30 years down the road. And that's where you go to Zadic. That's what Zadic is for. Zadic creates memories for you. And when it comes to the bridal selection, they've got an entire upstairs dedicated to rings, settings, the entire process. And they've got a sitting area where they can help you plan everything. It's unbelievable what they've got at Zadic. It's 28,000 square feet and 2 stories, and they've got an entire story dedicated to your special day. So make sure that you stop in at Zadic. Go check out the diamonds. Go check out the settings. Go talk to a master craftsman there who can help you build and design and create something that's really, really special. If you've got something in your mind, they can even take old family heirlooms and create them into something brand new. It's Zadic Jewelers, there for over 4 decades on Post Oak, 1801 Post Oak Boulevard, Zadic Jewelers.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance
on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
All right, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. John and Lance here with you. Yeah, that same game, Alex Bregman came up with first and second, 1 out in the 8th inning. Popped out to right field.
Must have come down on him.
He didn't come down. He didn't pull. Remember how he was pulling the cream?
So,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that was very snippy. The cream rises to the top. All right. That's one game.
Yeah, it was one game.
And he had a couple.
He had like
good games after that.
3 straight games.
Yeah. But
I like the police. Get him. He put up the hand.
You know, Scotty tried to big time him.
He did try to.
I don't know if he.
And so he went up why the whole street was blocked.
Right. And they're asking,
But this fault.
I'm supposed to go
I ain't
this
about
way.
that
Like,
stopping
well, you can
life.
roll your window down and tell them. You can have a conversation. Maybe you wouldn't have had to beg for mercy from Jeff. What's his name? Jeff.
Can
you
you
help
asking
me?
or want news on a contract extension? What's he asking Jeff Darlington?
So anyway, it was 73 for some reason. That's the first round over par in forever for Scott. Hey?
Yeah.
So he was fine.
He was shook.
How's that taste?
It's a big
Oh,
one
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
It's a great day for John.
Yeah. We're so
You brought it to race. We're just talking about golfers here.
Okay.
List all the times you guys are victims.
all the times.
Cart path only.
Oh God, the worst. The
I'm
not
sure-
a Coors Lights.
I'm sure it
life.
has. I'm sure it has.
Hey, tomorrow we're going to be out at there.
Delayed. And I was like, man,
seems
I
like
got a
just
reprieve.
yesterday.
And I mean, that felt just a couple days
Seemed
ago.
like
No, it was 2 weeks
yesterday.
ago, and here we
Oh,
are.
no.
Here we are.
The
Okay.
occasional invitational.
You said yes.
You did say
playing? Yeah.
playing brewing company
50 on gas money. Just
55.
keep on going, huh?
all the way. You do have a tag for tolls, right?
I do not.
Oh,
Why-
well, you're
why would I
screwed then
ever need
because
a-
99 is a tollway.
Yeah, why would I need a tag?
You're screwed because 99 is a tollway.
Just expense it.
Hey, Todd,
You can expense it.
gas and I'm expensing the tolls.
yeah,
You can expense it.
that's all. That's all you can do. That's all you
By
can
the way,
do.
I think we're experiencing issues with 92.5 again. Just so
Well,
y'all
no,
know.
no. We haven't been on 92.5.
That's what I was going to
It's
say.
it's on the Wells Fargo building. Nobody can get to it.
Yeah, just so you know, nobody can get to it.
Nobody. Wells Fargo building is a disaster, is a war zone in downtown because of what happened Thursday
With the shattered glass.
with everything. It's
So
bad.
did a tornado officially hit downtown?
I don't know, but we lost a bunch of windows and walls. I know that.
I mean that feels tornado-y.
Yeah, right.
No
know-
one has a video of tornadoes, but you're usually
they-
not going to see it in a big
Did you
city.
see the video of the tornado out in Cyprus
on
on 290?
see
Up
that
290, yeah,
one.
at Hockley, up there, yeah.
They showed a video.
Yeah, there's a video of a tornado. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, I saw the wind. I've got a video of the wind beginning to swirl here, where it's going one direction 1 second, then the next second it's going another, and then I talked to the people I saw the video at a Burger Chan where wind just blew out their window.
Mhm.
I mean, just blew out the window, and then like a hero, I stood there guard for an hour, and
Guarding
they
the
even
burgers
said,
again.
and they said, "Real MVP."
Guarding
the windows.
I'm real MVP.
You bigger
they said,
MVP
and
than
they
CJ?
said, "Come in for a burger." So
yeah.
Were you a more
Who
man
knows
of a
when I
people
take
than CJ was this weekend?
I saw
out
CJ.
helping
Did
all
you
the
see what
people?
CJ did?
No.
Just pulled over in a neighborhood. Was he helping people or what was he doing?
I saw him.
He just pulled over in a neighborhood and
Playing
started
catch and then help.
playing catch.
CJ Henderson?
No,
Who's recognizing CJ
no,
Henderson?
not one of our first round corners.
No.
One of our 3 first round corners.
Which
our first round quarterback.
We got 2 CJs. You got to be more specific.
Yeah, that's true.
The
Not
problem
the
with
first
CJ
round corner.
The problem
I'm talking about the
is-
guy who's considered potentially the best quarterback in football.
It's-
ahead of
Oh,
Pat
that one.
Mahomes.
Yeah, if CJ Henderson was out there, he'd be getting cooked by some little kid, and everyone, oh, look at
Oh,
that.
like Tyreek Hill?
Some kid run.
Oh!
Well, at least Tyreek plays wide receiver. He doesn't play corner.
Oh!
Some kid runs a double move on CJ Henderson. I'm like, oh, no.
No, Stroud was out talking to some mom out there, and she's telling him how many kids she has for some reason. I don't know. I felt like she was going to say, yeah, I got all these kids and this kid, so why don't you, come up with a little something.
Yeah.
But he was playing catch with some kid in the yard outside where, I mean, he's
Not
just
with a baseball, right?
He's
When
a
he was
regular
throwing it around.
dude. He's
Yeah.
a good dude. They say he's real tight with Dylan Thompson, who is their new. He's actually a guy Jack brought in, but they say Dylan is not Jack. He's a former quarterback as well, and Dylan supposedly is a great mentor for C.J. Stroud. So,
awesome.
Yeah, but CJ was out doing that. Like, this dude is not hanging around his house and play video games. I tell you what he's not is Kyler Murray. Have you seen Kyler Murray go to China and do stuff with for a youth football league? No, I have not. Have you seen Kyler stop somewhere after a terrible heat? I mean, I'm trying to think of what Arizona would have, just 117 degrees, and go outside and play catch. Probably not the greatest idea, but our guy in 117 degrees in Arizona. But our guy CJ did it. All CJ does is things. He's hitting home runs in charity softball games. He's active. He's not sitting around playing video games all day. CJ's living his life. He's doing stuff. You see him posting lyrics all the time.
I saw him with Amber Rose.
Rap lyrics.
Doing stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? If he did something, that's a great story he's got to tell.
Was it? Because
Yeah, he's got a story to tell.
weeks ago,
I
and
thought you said
you didn't like this.
You didn't like
Yeah, but now it's just a story to tell because nothing happened from it.
You don't know if
You don't
anything
know.
happened.
Oh, you
Nothing
don't know.
happened from
You
it.
don't
I
know.
don't see
You
it
don't know
anywhere.
that.
CJ's out living his life. He's not posting stuff on Instagram, practicing and retaking pictures of him doing
I
peace
thought
signs.
you just said you didn't want him living his life because of what happened to Tank.
Things have changed. Well, I want him living a life throwing footballs in the yard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I want him
Wholesome.
living his life during the daytime.
Wow.
At nighttime, let's get in the house and play
video games?
Play
well,
vi-
stream.
Wow.
Stream what?
No,
video
no,
games?
do Sudoku puzzles because it's good for your brain.
I'm confused
I don't
now.
know what you want
I'm
from
totally
him.
Okay.
confused now.
Sudoku
Don't play
puzzles.
video games. Play video
All
games.
right. So
All right.
I want him to I want him to do things during the day when it's light outside. When it's dark, I want him to get back in. Don't watch TV because it rots your brain. So you just do like Sudokus or things to keep your mind sharp.
How about watching film?
Yeah, you can watch film.
Yeah.
You can watch film too. I guess that's something you can watch.
Yeah.
You can stream film.
Stream film.
So that won't rot your brain.
Yeah. No.
No, never.
Keep your mind focused. Let's keep your mind focused on your plumbing. And that's what happens with Aqueduct Plumbing when they come to your home and they repipe everything because maybe that's what you need. I don't know how old your house is, but if it was built in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, there's a chance you need repiping. There is a chance. There's a chance if you haven't checked your tankless water heater in a while that you need to have the guys come in there and clean it out because of the residue that's in there. And you listen, you're not getting your water as well as you possibly can. There are all kinds of stuff that they can do. Let Aqueduct Plumbing Company come to your home and check it out and make your water get to you better. If you're having any kind of issue with your water coming out slowly, or any kind of a leak whatsoever, of course you want that. But you can get leak detection. You can get all of your stuff cleaned, your pipes, repipe, everything at one stop. And that's our guys over at Aqueduct Plumbing Company. 281-488-6238, 281-488-6238, or aqueductplumbingcompany.com. Tell Billy you heard it right here.
John Daspit's been on vacation. I know this through a social media account. He was on vacation with his family. Took time to text me the schedule for the Mariners because he listens to the show. He's like, Mariners have 4 coming up in New York. That's all he just said. That's all he said. That's how I knew it this morning. I knew the schedule because when he's not spending time in the office, he's spending time with his family and watching sports and listening to this show. But mostly he just spends time in his office and working with his lawyers on your cases. That's most of what he does. His lawyers, that's mostly what they do. They don't have time to go play catch with neighborhood kids or whatever, because they're trying to get you the settlement that you deserve. They're personal injury lawyers who fight for your rights. They fight for your justice. If you've been injured in an accident due to someone else's negligence, they're going to make sure that not one penny of that bill comes out of your pocket. They're going to make sure that the insurance company treats you with the respect that you deserve, because that's what it's about, making sure that you are compensated for that injury and making sure all of your bills are paid, because it was not your fault. And there are some people who have really, really serious accidents that they have to deal with. And I don't want that to be you, but if it is, make sure you call John Daspit and the Daspit Law Firm, 713-CALL-NOW. That's 713-CALL-NOW, or go to daspitlaw.com.
I was listening to the app this morning on my phone, in my car on the way here, and it's perfect. So listen to the app on your phone, in your car, and nothing.
I've had yesterday was a couple of game sevens where the road teams won the game sevens in the third quarter, down 20, and outscored. It was like 69-37 or 60-37. I think it was 60-37, something like that. It was just an absolute beating in the second half. This is, with the defending champs, this is with the MVP on the team, and you had a big game from Jaden McDaniels, did a really, really good job defensively. You had a bad game from Anthony Edwards, except for the fourth quarter, where he came up in the fourth quarter and had some big shots. The team really just didn't panic. They played with great poise, and it was a great win for the Timberwolves. I was looking at the roster. I was just looking at the team that was out on the floor, and I thought, okay, how far are the Rockets away? They're a little ways away from the T-Wolves. When I look at it, I'm like, I can see some similarities between the Rockets, but they're just so young. They just don't have, like, Gobert versus Steven Adams. That's Gobert. You have, Karl Anthony Towns versus Alperen Şengün. I don't personally feel like there's that big a difference, but I guess you give a little nod to, the All-Star in Karl Anthony Towns. You just look up and down the roster. They don't really have – Jalen Green's not there with Anthony Edwards. There's nobody on the roster who's there with Anthony Edwards. So when you look at just a team like Minnesota, who's in the Western Conference, and you say, how close are they? I don't think they're far, but you can kind of get a sense when you start going piece by piece. It's one of the reasons I like the idea of making a trade that can help make the Rockets maybe just a little bit more. I mean, they are veteran with Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet. They're veteran. Don't get me wrong. But that's why an idea of a Donovan Mitchell, at least I'm just throwing just a general name out there that we use, the concept of a Donovan Mitchell who's in his 27 in that neighborhood, who's got big experience, who is a true number one scorer for a team. That's why that's appealing to me.
So you don't think we could do it with homegrown?
I think you can. I think mostly homegrown.
Well,
but
okay.
I think he's.
But you already added those Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet pieces.
Well, they're free agents who are supposed to change culture.
Steven Adams.
Those are culture guys. Those are not primaries. Those are culture guys. And
VanVleet won a title. I mean,
VanVleet's a 2-year guy.
Yeah.
He's not that's obviously not an answer. He's Garrett Cole is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a Garrett Cole move. You got a team that's ready, that's mostly homegrown, but you got to add a Justin Verlander or you got to add a Garrett Cole. That's what I consider this to be.
When Garrett Cole got here, he wasn't Garrett Cole.
He was really good though.
He was good. He was good. He wasn't Garrett Cole.
The Astros targeted him. Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Right. Well,
he's better than Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, it would be nice to pick up an Anthony Edwards before he became Anthony Edwards, but
you draft those guys.
Well, okay, so Golden State basically did it with homegrown. Minnesota's basically doing it with homegrown. They added Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And Alperen, I don't consider VanVleet a future core. So Alperen.
So what you're saying? Get rid of Jalen Green.
Amen Thompson. Well, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
Move Green in a draft pick, and maybe even a future draft pick for somebody. I just think if you want to get to that level, you need somebody who's already there, and not just like the upside for Jalen Green. I mean, this is 4 years of talking about the upside of Jalen Green. It's 3 playing years that are in the books. But the upside of Jalen Green, I totally agree. He's got great upside. Also wildly inconsistent. And I just would have somebody that I rather where the fruit is ripe. I'm not waiting for the banana to get ripe. I want the ripe fruit so I can plug it in and maybe start to win at a higher level right now, because you just see there's a lot of Western Conference teams that are on the fade, but there's a lot of Western Conference teams that are on the rise.
Honestly,
too.
what are you going to get for Jalen? Okay, what do you got to package? The 3, Jalen?
Well, it's the financial problem. Is Jalen, the 3, a future first? That all sounds appealing, but you got to make salaries work.
Yeah, so
And
what salary?
Well, now you have to start looking at, I got to start looking at the most expensive salaries of guys you can move, and that's the problem.
Well,
You
you
have a lot
can't
of
move Fred. You're not moving Van Vliet or Dylan Brooks.
Why would you not move Dylan Brooks? You
You
have Tari and you have Jabari and you have
I don't know what's the value of Dylan Brooks. You really think that another team just can't live without Dylan Brooks?
I think Dylan Brooks is a valuable player defensively. I think offensively, if you got 3-point shooting like you got from him last year, which is considered good by Dylan Brooks, then that's fine. But Dylan Brooks is only for certain teams, either teams that need a culture reset like the Rockets or teams that are close to winning who need a scrappy player like that. There's really no in between. That's the problem with Dylan Brooks. And teams who are close to winning, they might be willing to, like, would the Celtics? The Celtics don't need a Dylan Brooks. Who are the players who are the teams that you're looking at? That's the problem. It's easy for me to say I want another
to any of the top teams.
player.
Does Oklahoma City need them? Does Denver
They got
need
Lou
them?
Dort.
You know
No.
who could use them? Maybe is the Clippers. Maybe
What about Dallas?
Dallas? They just picked up PJ Washington, who's turned into a real big key for them. Gaffold. I mean, they picked up 2 guys that have helped them get to the Western Conference Finals. Whether or not Dylan Brooks is that guy, I don't know. Maybe.
How about New Orleans? Sending out there to bully Zion.
Bully him onto the court. That could be. We got, what did you learn this week in one sentence coming up next? Apologize to all you that try to listen on 92.5. Download, if you're having problems listening on 97.5 right now, download the app and you will get us crystal clear. And it will be, this is the way that you solve this thing. Download the app and listen through your Bluetooth on your car. That's how simple this is. Now, what did you learn this weekend in one sentence? You get one sentence to tell us what you learned this weekend. And it doesn't have to be about sports. It could be about anything that you learned in the world, be it politics, be it whatever, or your wife, your kids, whatever it is. You learned something this weekend. 713-780-3776. I didn't learn it this weekend. I've been knowing about Free Reign Coffee for a while now. But I do know this. I love Free Reign Coffee, and you'll love Free Reign Coffee too. I just does every morning. Get up and get after it. Hashtag get up and get after it. Dream Coffee Work Repeat. Dream Coffee Work Repeat. It is awesome. It is the way that you start your day. It's the way that you get up and get after it. It's the way that, listen, they've got a wonderful Memorial Day deal going on. They love Memorial Day. They do. They just love Memorial Day at Free Reign Coffee. Free Reign Coffee is ready for you. Free Reign Coffee has got a big Memorial Day weekend sale going on, up to 40% off right now, Memorial Day weekend. So put in promo code ESPN20 when you go to 975coffee.com, but you can get more than that 20% off. You can get up to 40% off because they love Memorial Day. They love everything about first responders and Army and Navy and all of that. They love our armed forces at Free Reign. 975coffee.com, put in promo code ESPN20. You don't want him to do QC? By free rank coffee? Well, it's not going to be easy to do.
Out some logistics behind things.
Yeah.
We couldn't access it, or people couldn't call in. Restored power to like 230,000 people in the last 24 hours. They still got like...
Awesome. Thank you to Sam Houston Race Park. The Greek Fest, awesome. Thank you. It was it's always awesome. We saw on 290 a gigantic tower down. On the side. I mean, it was like, holy crap. That's the kind of winds that we had knock down that tower. That is just it. And that was a hell of a storm that we had. So our phones aren't working.
We can do it through Twitter. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Alex Malone says, I learned that my ex has our son trained to be a real C block. Yeah, how easy that is?
Yeah.
7-1. I'm going to switch a tweet into an I learned. Reginald, I learned that it's okay to swear like a drunken sailor in post-game pressers in the NBA.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Guys it's not, it used to be you let it slip and then you go, whoa, oh, sorry about that. Now it's like they don't care.
Well, like,
They
did
just
you
know
see Charles talking to Anthony Edwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but Anthony didn't cuss.
Yeah. No, he said,
cursed. Well, he said, "Bring your ass."
bring your ass.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's not-
I'm not
Bring
sure.
your ass and
Well,
bring your ass down here.
Yeah,
That's
to
not a cuss.
Minnesota.
I'm saying they say F-bomb.
Oh,
Well,
no, I know.
We're not gonna get to that specifically because Anthony Edwards did say that about Chris Finch, about how great he is as a coach. He dropped a couple F-bombs. But
in the post-game presser?
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about in the presser
The
or
presser,
in the...
not talking.
Yeah,
to.
that's
Presser's fine because that's not live television.
Well,
But
Well,
when
it is.
you're
Oh, no,
interviewing
no.
a guy on the court and
No.
he's dropping F-bombs.
Pressers are live
NBA
television
TV
now.
carries
A lot
all
of
those.
them. NBA TV, ESPN will carry them a lot.
Well,
cable.
Those are.
sometimes. For the most part, they're not. But live, you're live speaking to the woman on the court or the guy. They're dropping F-bombs.
Fewer
now.
and fewer players carry anymore.
Yeah, they
They
don't
don't
care. Mike Malone did not care. We'll hear it in Chip Talk. He was asked a question that he didn't particularly like.
Yeah.
And just wait to the end because he had already cursed and he had already let the reporter know that he didn't like the question. But he dropped a little special thing at the end that might become a drop on this show.
I don't know what this means. I learned this weekend that all TU fans use pronouns.
Texas?
Well, obviously TU, but what does he mean they all use pronouns?
Well, I guess he's suggesting that Texas fans are woke, so they're going to talk about
They.
I know, but what
pronouns.
happened?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's
Did
about,
anything
though.
happen?
I learned this weekend that Xander Schauffele can't close on Sunday, can't win a major narrative is now over.
Yep. You did learn that.
Keith
You did
said
learn
that.
that.
He
Yep.
said he learned that.
Well, it's been a couple of
But
years.
wasn't it better when you could just crack on him for being the new? Because we had that with Phil Mickelson for years. Can't win a major guy. He's next up. Can't win a major guy. That was a fun little game we used to play. And then that ended.
That was more.
And it was over. John Elway couldn't win. And that was over.
Mm.
It's always like who's next up that we can say can't win.
I learned this week, and this is specifically to me, that Steven Nelson is not a fan of D'Amico Ryans. Considering considering the issues we've had weather-wise,
I saw he said something about milk duds. I
Steven
don't know what
Nelson
that
said, "Let's go, milk dud, man! It's your time to shine. Damn all that meathead persona. Time to get hands dirty for the city."
Who's milk dud man?
Well, the bald-headed dude who coaches the Texans, milk dud. That's what he's
Are
calling.
you sure it was? I saw that, but I didn't know who he's.
He
He's
ain't
talking
talking about his DC.
He's talking
his
about
head coach.
talking about D'Amico Ryans.
Wait.
Steven Nelson doesn't play here anymore.
Oh, that's right. Where does he play?
He's a free agent.
He's still out there?
Yeah.
Then keep your ass out there.
What? Well,
Stay your ass there. Bring your ass to Minnesota along with Chuck. Hold on. He was talking about our head coach?
Yes.
And meathead persona. What? I mean, why is Steven Nelson always got to be in people's... Oh, my God. First, he was hitting on the importance of a vest for
Right.
Nick because it keeps your torso warm.
Well, and then he got paid.
And then he got paid unbelievably.
Yeah.
And now, Milk Dud, man, you sure that's about...
That's what I didn't understand.
What
Are
is
you
Milk
sure
Dud?
it's D'Amico?
Well, D'Amico has a bald head. He's of darker complexion. You could suggest that his head looks like a milk dud. That's who Steven Nelson is talking
You
about.
can, maybe. I can't.
I'm not doing that.
You guys can, and Steven Nelson can. He said, "Hey, milk dud, man."
Wow. I didn't realize that. I learned this weekend, one thing I learned this weekend is I went to Kingdom of Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
and it's meh.
Is it?
Yeah.
The last one.
It's got
pretty good.
81% on Rotten Tomatoes,
I
and I'm
enjoyed
like,
it, but I like the Apes movies. I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yes.
What did you think?
It's fine.
It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I get why I got the 80. It's fine. I don't know if 80 means fine for them, but it's fine. It was enjoyable.
Okay. It was
I
kind of
enjoyed it.
boring.
Well, I guess. Well, this is supposed to be like the 5th or 6th in they think they might get to 10 of these. So they're setting up these new.
I learned that
I'm out on this one.
The special shows like Peaky Blinders, you never want them to end. And in other shows like Mayor of Kingstown, once you get to about 2 or 3 episodes into the second season, you realize there's only so much they can write.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed season 2. I'm looking forward to season 3.
We'll see. I'm
Mayor
only 3 episodes in, but it's the same stuff
In
over
season
and over.
2?
I learned that if P. Diddy can't make a music comeback, he might have a future no, I'm not reading.
You didn't
what?
You didn't learn any of that.
No, I
Nope.
shouldn't have read that.
You
Did
know.
you see his apology video?
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
he was just
what are
really...
we referencing, by the way? Because we didn't even talk about why he's apologizing beyond the stuff that was public.
So the video was leaked that shows him abusing his ex-girlfriend. I mean, physically abusing, hitting, kicking when she was down. And she came out, and then people made fun of her. When she came out originally and said it, the entire, culture of P. Diddy or whatever, whoever would care about her or whatever, they all shunned her, and they shunned, they all said that's a lie, and they made fun of her. And now all of a sudden people are, this just can't stand. We must get rid of P. Diddy. You got to, you really have to have video now.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to have video. I understand that there's some things happening that aren't happening. You know what I mean? That there's some false accusations. But at the same time, how about you just don't, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to make somebody, you don't have to go after somebody. But P. Diddy came out. This video was already after all the other stuff. So he looks like he's done. And his apology video, did you see it?
Yeah, what was he? He kept saying,
I was ashamed about it then.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed. I went and sought treatment and help. I got counseling.
I learned when an ex-girlfriend reaches out to you after breaking up with her boyfriend and you get together, it doesn't mean she wants to smash. Guess who that came from?
What does it mean?
That's Tom.
What does it mean?
I don't know, but
She just wants to be friends?
yeah.
No, maybe she just wants somebody that she thinks is a friend. Yeah, it's a friend.
Jonathan learned a good lesson. I learned I shouldn't get in a confrontation with my daughter's jiu-jitsu coach.
Oh, I need to hear a story.
Well, you should have known that before.
Yeah, you should have known that, but you didn't. Double rods, Johnny G. I learned no matter if you're in the fairway or the trees, mosquitoes are no joke. Yeah, mosquitoes are no. Any spots left tomorrow? Nah. No, people.
Before that Instagram post, Lamont learned that before that, I'm just going to read sometimes tweets as I learned. Lamont learned that on the Instagram post, Steven Nelson actually says Milk Dud Ryans and then deleted it.
Yeah, he's talking about D'Amico. I thought that was pretty clear.
Did you think that was clear?
I didn't. It wasn't clear to me.
The white guys
I
didn't
didn't
think
know.
it was
I didn't
clear.
know what he meant.
We didn't know.
Look, I saw.
How is this a black and white thing, or you
I don't
just know that Milk Dud means
I don't know if it's a
D'Amico
black-
Ryan?
Is that a common
No.
cut?
Is this a thing?
I don't know if it's a black-white thing. I just know D'Amico's bald. He is of a dark.
It makes sense.
He is
like
of a,
his
but
Milk
I didn't
Dud
know
looking
if
ass.
you ever
like you
heard
think
some-
it's like you're cracking on somebody.
Had you ever heard someone call another guy Milk Dud Man before?
No, but I don't know how clever Steven Nelson is, so he just saw chocolate bald head, and go Milk Dud.
Now I will say,
I don't
in
know.
seventh and eighth grade, when we used to rank on each other on the bus, I might have called somebody a Milk Dud head ass. Like that is something that you would use.
It's very immature.
In high school or junior,
second grade.
if you're ranking on somebody.
Yeah, so
I could see
Steven
that.
Nelson, who has a podcast, by the way, that he promotes, decided to take a shot at his, I guess now clearly former head coach. If you thought any chance of him coming back was a thing, let's take it off the board.
So can we ask D'Amico about Milk Dud Man?
Is that a nickname that goes around the locker room? Is that a term of endearment for you? Why did Steven Nelson call you that?
Is this something that all the guys?
Yeah, is that just what they call you instead of coach?
Who wants to do that?
Milk Dud Man.
Who wants to do that? Who wants to ask that question?
I'm not asking.
Cody Stutes.
Yeah, Cody. All right, that's your
You
job.
want to be a real
Do
journalist?
your job.
You want to be an actual journalist? Ask D'Amico
Do
Ryans
your job.
if everybody calls him Milk Dud Man.
Right. 759 ESPN. That was one of our better. What did you learn this weekend?
Just simply
Brought
reading.
to you by Free Range Coffee. Brought to you, my peeps. My peeps brought that to you. Free reign, big Memorial Day sale at 975coffee.com. Big Memorial, up to 40% off. They love Memorial Day at Free Reign Coffee, so get in there and take advantage. I've taken advantage of Houston Powder Coaters. Well, I haven't really taken advantage of Robin or anybody over at Houston Powder Coaters. No, haven't done that. No,
that's not how we say that.
That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is how to take advantage of free pickup and delivery. Yeah, and it doesn't matter where you are. Fulshire, yeah, can do it. Baytown, Crosby, Mount Bellevue, Galveston, yep, doesn't matter. Pretty much, if you can hear us, they're going to come and pick it up and deliver it absolutely free, and powder coat it and make it look like it's brand new. And here's the deal: is if your patio furniture out there is 10 years or older, it's better steel. They use better steel 10 years. Don't want our parts, or save your Pope parts, or save whatever metal it is at HoustonPowderCoaters.com. 281-676-3888, 281-676-3888, or HoustonPowderCoaters.com.
QC Kinetics, the company who really helped my wife when she was trying to get back from a knee issue. And at the time, it was just about being pain-free and being more mobile in terms of, her knee was really locking up her right knee. And we went to QC Kinetics. They had to have a very aggressive course of action. It was a 5-course treatment. And by the time it was over, not only was that knee unlocked and was there better mobility, but she was preparing to run the Berlin Marathon and finish the Berlin Marathon. And it was, she's been talking about going to Tokyo and London and finishing the big 6 marathons. And so happy for her, so proud of her, but really thankful for QC Kinetics. And this is what I'm talking about. Regenerative medicine is something professional athletes have taken advantage of for years, and it's available for you as well. 4 locations here in Houston. It's not just about getting back to being more active. It's about living without chronic pain, living without waiting for your next steroid shot or when's that surgery going to take place. It's about regenerating damaged tissue and restoring lost tissue. That's what we're talking about with QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics can do it, and they've got a great success rate. QCkinetics.com. That's QCkinetics.com.
Tweet us or X us. You can always post to us. I don't know how to ever say that anymore. I'm not sure. You can X us. I don't know. But here's the deal. At John Granado, at Lance Zerline, at Delv2. Okay? You can always tweet the show. So let's go. Get in here. 713. At John Granado, at Lance Zerline, at Delv2. Astros went 2 out of 3. Okay, 6-1 on this homestand so far. With the Angels coming in, one of the worst teams in baseball, but the Astros have proven before that they can screw it up at home, especially against bad teams. So while the Mariners have the Yankees and a 4-game lead over our Astros, we've got the Angels. At the Yankees are the Mariners, and we are home against the Angels. we may be in first place by the end of May, let alone All-Star break.
Can I talk about how baseball people are just not serious? Because all during the struggles, it's a long year. It's a long year. Standings don't matter. Hey, talk to me in July, in September, August, September. Now, once you're hot, only 4 games out in May. Why? What? Who cares? I thought it didn't matter. Why do we care how many games were out in May? It's a long season, right?
Well, I've always cared, so I'm saying.
Okay.
I've cared that they were.
You have cared because you said this was going to be the best team in national history. So you certainly have an agenda. But a lot of people, it's a long season. Who cares? Now, hey, we're only 4 games back. How good does it feel? Wait a minute. What are we doing?
Well, what we're doing is we're playing. Here's the deal: is we're playing better baseball.
Yeah, I take that. That's more important than anything.
It sure would have been nice if Bregman could have come through. It would have been nice if Bregman could have come through in the 8th inning with 2 on, and then the cream would have been way up on it. Would have been sitting right. The cream would have been way up on the top.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, he didn't. But they are 9-2 over their last 11.
That matters.
And
you had to have it.
Yeah.
It's not even. We're not even.
When Dana Brown said this, you pull up, win 6 in a row, 7 in a row, we were kind of laughing at him. Like this team could win 6 in a row or 7 in a row, and then here we are.
Well, Dana Brown said, I told you about Jake Myers, too. You were laughing at me then, too.
Ooh.
We did laugh.
I did laugh at Jake Myers, and I don't laugh at Jake. Jake Myers is one of the guys I want at the plate right now. He is one of the guys I want at the plate right now in a game situation because Jake Myers has been coming through. His OPS is over 900.
Yeah, for not during a stretch.
No,
this
for the season.
Year.
For the season.
Jake is just doubles and dingers. That's all he hits. He's either going into second or he's going to the plate. That's what he does. Jake's numbers, where are his numbers? I've got him here somewhere. I saw the graphic, and it's like, holy crap. Jake freaking Myers, man. It's insane what he's been able to put together. He's sitting over 300 right now with an OPS over 900. He's been really, really good. He's feeling it. And, it's always been one of those things where it's been Jake and then it's McCormick and then it might be Jake. But McCormick has been over Jake for a while now. And now McCormick's had all this time out. And Jake is a legitimate, you can't just sit Jake now.
No.
You can't just sit him down.
No, there's no reason to sit him down. He's won the job. Listen, going into the season, I thought they should have cut Jake Myers. Trade Jake Myers. Don't want Jake Myers. Seen enough of Jake Myers. You know what? Jake Myers, I was wrong. Jake Myers was playing great. Play Jake Myers. Jake Myers deserves the job. Jake Myers has gone out there, and he won the job. So put him out there, and if he gets cold and turns back into the Jake Myers that your dad hates, okay, then
my dad doesn't hate him. My dad just laughs at him.
Well, not really. He just
called him. No, he doesn't hate him. He doesn't hate anything. He doesn't. He just laughs like Jake is. He goes, boy, he just looks around like he's looking at birds flying around, like he's confused all the time.
He's a 6-year-old out there in the center field.
Yeah, and I called him yesterday. He was landing. He's going to some football thing in New Orleans for one of the Spavital brothers.
Oh, yeah?
I think. I don't know. But anyway, I said, hey, he was just getting off the plane. I said, you may have to rethink your stance on Jake Myers. He goes, did he get another home run? I said, well, he had another double.
No.
I said, he had a good weekend. Again, he goes, boy, he's really been hitting. 302, 21 strikeouts and 96 at-bats, which is more than every 4 at-bats, which is very good by the Jake standard. 7 walks, but he's got, Jake has got home runs for the season. He's got 5 home runs, 18 RBIs, and a 920 OPS. It's damn good.
Yeah, it's damn good.
It's damn good.
And
man.
you don't
Jake
Bring
Myers.
Chaz back and put him in center field.
No.
Now, the only thing that you're losing with Jake in center field is his arm. I mean, it's bad.
That's a concern.
That is a concern.
I mean, it's a concern. You can't just have people going first to third on you all
and
the time.
they do. And because he just doesn't have an arm. He just doesn't. But he gets to a lot of balls. He's a good center fielder as far as the glove goes.
Is there any thought about letting him play left field where you got a shorter porch? And, you still have to make certain throws, but you're not going to go first to third in front of the left fielder, God forbid.
Well,
you might, but.
Well, you might think about that, putting Chaz in center and him. But it was the opposite. I don't, for whatever reason, I don't know why they would like Jake and McCormick in left.
Run.
You can't put it. When Jordan's in the game, Jake's got to play center and not left. Loperfido, he played center. Loperfido has played center.
Well, Jake can't be a full-time player, even though he's got a 920 OPS and a hitting over 300. He's not going to be full-time because you want to get Joey Loperfido some.
Are
some
you sure,
ABs.
Joey? Okay, what's going to happen?
You
Are
think
you
he
sure
goes
he's
down?
on the team?
Well, I mean, Chaz is a right-hand bat. Loperfido hits left hand. Jake hits right hand. Yeah, I think he stays. I think he.
Well, but okay, so who goes down when he comes up?
Yes, you cut a Abreu.
You can. No, Brady's coming back on Friday.
Who's the worst guy on the roster?
Is Kessinger still on the team?
As of Friday,
Kessinger's still
I
on
gotta
the team.
see. Is Cabbage? You're gonna
yeah,
keep
Cabbage.
up?
You got Cabbage. You got to go. Got to go.
It's got to be Cabbage because you got, what Cabbage does. You already have your boy doing that. So
Loperfido's got an 817 OPS. He's got a homer, 5 RBIs. He's got a double, 13 hits and 39 at bats, 333, 381 on base percentage, which is fantastic. I mean, he has struck out 17 times in 39 at bats, but he still, when he hits it, now I saw a stat where his batting average with ball in play is around 500.
oh yeah,
which
when
is
he hits it, he puts good wood on it. But I think the concern is the more ABs he gets and the more strikeouts he has, the more dialed in people are going to get on his scouting report.
But his expected batting average from the balls he does put in play is nowhere near 500.
Oh.
He's finding a lot of holes.
That's a good.
He's finding a lot of
That's the FIP.
Which right. So I don't know.
Mauricio,
You can't sit Loperfido though. Listen, if Joey Loperfido is going to sit on the bench while Chaz plays, while Jordan plays left, while Chaz plays left,
Mauricio
while
Dubon.
Dubon plays, I mean, there's no reason. There's no reason for him to be here.
No, but this is a great sip of coffee for him. This
Yeah.
is a great taste of the bigs. I'd have no problem with Loperfido going down before. Right now, if you have Chaz, you're going to, but I mean, there's 4 guys right there that are going to be 3 guys who are going to be sharing really, I guess, 2 positions, depending on how you use Jordan, how often you use them at left and how often you use them DHing. So you could keep him up. You could keep Loperfido up, but you'd rather have probably Cabbage up and not getting the at-bats. I mean, if you're going to keep him up, then you got to play Chaz. I mean, you're going to have to play Chaz if you're bringing Chaz back. And Jake Myers, you want to get Jake Myers playing time.
I guess you have to. I guess you do. I mean,
Who doesn't play? Devon's
mean,
hitting 283.
If he gets back to being the Chaz that he was before, he sucked before
But
he got
needs
hurt.
time too, though.
Well, I know.
I mean, Jake
I'm
got
all for Chaz.
Jake got like 2 years.
Yeah.
You gave Jake 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. It is true. And Chaz has been a World Series hero. I'm all for Chaz, but you know what? Just like Abreu, you can't bring them back, plug them in, and they don't perform again. If they don't, this team is on a roll right now that you don't want to break up.
Loperfido really needs to go back and play exclusively first base. That's it.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
And have him and Singleton maybe, because you got to do that.
Yep. All right. 713-780-3776 still ahead. Dell's got some good sound on Ship Talk. That's coming up at the bottom of the hour right here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Listen, I don't think he's ever been needed more, Jason Brinkman and the great folks over at Brinkman Roofing. I mean, the Quality Roofing Services Incorporated. There's going to be guys coming to your door, knocking on your door, and they say they can fix your roof, and you just don't do it. Don't do it. Brinkman Quality has been around for 50 years. There's a reason that it's called Brinkman Quality Roofing Services, is because they do quality work. Jason told us, well, I met Jason, I don't know how long ago, and he said, man, these guys that knock on your door, we do more business fixing what they messed up than regular business, because people trust. You trust somebody? No. Trust somebody that's been there and done it forever. They got to be really, really busy right now, but this is a time when you need them. And when it all comes down, you need Brinkman Roofing to come to your home and make sure that your roof is compliant. Make sure that your roof is good for the next storm that comes. You got to check it out. If you don't, you're not going to get covered with your insurance. Check it out and have that paperwork when the insurance company comes. 281-480-7663, 281-480-7663, or brinkmanquality.com.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
818 ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. John and Lance. No phones today. We apologize. So you can tweet the show at John Granato, at Lance Zerline, at Delvey2. We'll be forward to lunch from them. Valencia's for dinner. Carbach Brewing Company. Beers. Okay. On us. It's going to be fun. The occasional invitational. If you didn't sign up, that's on you. There's nothing we can do. That's on you. You had time, and you didn't do it. That's so dumb. Dell's going to be out there, wants a hug from everybody. Somebody tweeted, said, oh, yeah, Jason said, make sure that you hug Dell when you go out there. Make sure.
I'm not sure this obsession with hugging me, but
well,
I'm not sure what that's
Jason,
about.
it's Jason.
Well, you've pushed this thing
I think
too.
if everyone gives Dell a hug tomorrow, it'll make him feel better.
Yeah, because dude's coming up and hugging me is going to make me feel great.
Yeah.
Why would that make me feel good?
Because then you can feel the love from the listener.
I don't want to feel the love.
You don't want to feel any love from listeners?
No,
okay.
not that type.
Well, okay.
Don't touch me. How about that? How about we stick with this rule? Don't touch me.
Wow. Apparently you don't want to be loved.
No, I'm not looking for that.
Okay. So you saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes as well?
I did a couple Fridays ago or Saturdays ago now.
Yeah, and didn't love it either?
No, I didn't dislike it. I mean, I just said when I gave my non-spoiler review on my show, Mopey and Mapes, that ain't nobody messing with Caesar, the original ape from this run. Caesar, like the new lead ape, he ain't got that charisma.
No, he didn't.
Caesar's that dude. Caesar's him.
And we knew immediately that the king, that he was going to,
Yeah, well, the fake Proximus Caesar, whatever his name is. Yeah. I mean, you like stuff with monkeys in it, so.
I do.
But this one, it's fine. I mean, even though
you're right, he didn't. I wasn't
like Noah, who is the new.
I like Caesar.
Ape. Yeah, Caesar's cool. Caesar's about that. He war ready. Noah's whatever. I guess maybe he'll grow into it. Maybe. But the new villain ain't even a great villain. Like Koba from the first couple three. The bad ape. Koba would ride on a horse with assault rifles, 2 of them, and just fire at people.
Yeah, it didn't seem like these were as smart as other apes.
Well, maybe his stuff starts to go down the line.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you wouldn't think they get smarter and
better? Well, because as they get farther and farther away from Caesar, the original, maybe that's I don't know how ape talking DNA works. I'm not sure. It's all sci-fi anyway.
I would have thought I'd see some scientists in there.
Well,
from the original Planet of the Apes, they were smart.
Well, I guess, but they were like years and years and years and years in advance. We saw them. They now know what a telescope is.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll start the process. That'll speed up the process. But
I guess it's. I see. It's building up towards.
Yeah,
that.
like I know Caesar was smart, but like I said, they're trying to build it if they keep making money, which they will, to get to like a 9th or 10th movie where we actually, like, if you remember from the one with James Franco, there was a little news blurb on television about a astronaut going to space to Mars. So people think that astronaut who went to Mars will come back in like the 10th movie and come back and go, what the hell happened to my planet? Right. And then he's going to realize, like Charlton Heston did, oh, this is my planet. Yeah. So that's what they think.
And okay. So that won't be Charlton Heston?
No, well, he's old.
Or it'll be a character.
Well, he's dead, right? So he can't be in it.
No. That won't be how it ends. Is the original?
I don't know what they're trying to do, but in the first one, people are thinking because of what that astronaut going to Mars, he's going to wind up coming back and going, what? He's going to think he's on a different planet and then realize, wait a minute, this is our planet. This is Earth. Yeah. So we'll see, but it's fine. I mean, they're going to keep making money. They'll keep making them. Just got to get a new ape with some more charisma because Caesar, it's hard to follow.
Yep.
He's not Pongo or anything.
He's not Pongo. I love Pongo.
John loves him some Pongo.
Yeah, I love Pongo. Let me ask you this.
Caesar and Pongo, we've got to get some different apes.
We do.
Pongo's
Noah was boring.
He was boring.
Noah was boring.
He didn't lead anybody. Really. He won. I can't give it away, but the way he won his fight, trash.
It was
Pingale.
What? What'd you say?
Just get Pingale.
Who's Pingale?
It's a new ape I made.
He's not a new ape. They have regular names.
Pingale.
They have regular names like Caesar, Noah.
What about Pingale?
Chingo.
Nah.
Shingo sounds like a good one. Yeah. Let me work on this. Let me spitball this. I'll come up with some new stuff for y'all. Some new ape
Maybe the
names for you guys
Mockingales.
for your number 10 or whatever. By the way, I caught my daughter on Alexa listening to one of one of Kendrick Lamar's diss tracks. She said she was listening to it because it's a bop, but she also said,
a bop.
I don't listen to, but I try not to listen to the bad words.
She can find the
I said,
edited
no.
version, right?
I said, no, she wasn't listening to that.
Oh.
Because I walked by the bathroom and she's like doing this dance into the mirror.
It is a bop.
I'm like, what do you? I said, this is Kendrick Lamar. Well, I don't really listen to the bad words.
How can you not listen to
Yeah,
bad
what do you
words?
mean?
Exactly.
It's all bad words.
So
Well-
don't be judging me now since you're listening to Kendrick Lamar in Drake's career.
Well, it's a moment. She's got to listen to it.
Drake also lost over $1 million on Tyson Fury bet. This is the one. This is the one she was listening to.
This is the instrumental to save us from an issue. But yeah, it's a bop.
By the
See?
it is.
It's a West Coast bop, but yeah.
I tell you what's a bop is $1 Million Baby. I just discovered it over
The
the
movie?
weekend. No, the song. Have you
Oh.
heard it? Tommy Richmond.
No.
It came out late April. Play it because it's got like 80s funk R&B vibes. It's a good song. It only lasts
Well, to be fair to Kendrick, we would call this a slap. A bop is like more poppy.
yeah, more pop.
This is a slap.
This slaps.
Yeah.
One is a bop. A bop is more poppy. But play $1 Million Baby, Tommy Richmond. I want to play that. See, I think John's gonna like this. I'm gonna predict John will like this. Cause
Does it sound like Sticks?
No, it doesn't sound like Sticks.
Well,
I
it
don't know
doesn't
that
sound like
John was-
Sticks. How can I like it?
Were you
This is
big
what
into
I'm saying.
Sticks?
I like Sticks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sticks
I go
is
see
good.
them every time they come.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Sticks
I've
is
seen
good.
them like I don't know how many times.
How am I gonna find it?
REO
Is there a clean
Speedwagon,
version of this?
Sticks,
Is there a
Foreigner.
clean version?
I don't think it's dirty at
Try
all.
to okay, 'cause I think you're trying to set me up.
No, I don't think it's dirty. Just push play.
It don't matter.
gonna
Just
watch-
push play.
don't matter anymore.
Just listen. Just push
Just
play.
push play.
The tower may be down. Just
we
push
don't have any
play.
towers. Don't worry.
92.5 can't hear
Everything's on the stream now. We can do
But
say whatever we
97.5
want.
people can hear it.
it. Yeah, but
What?
they're used to this.
No, but all it takes is one person to call someone, and we got an issue.
Play
Oh.
$1 Million Baby, Tommy Richmond. You're fine. You're fine. He's a white guy, so he can't, or he's not white. I'm not sure what he is. Here,
You mean he's a white guy? He can still curse.
What?
He's a white
See?
guy.
He's a white guy?
I don't know if he's white or not. He's something.
Okay.
See?
Turn it up.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah, I get that.
See? Now this is a bop. And he's a good falsetto.
RJ
on a
wants
beat like
Heidi Ho
this?
Princess.
Ooh. John.
Now that's a bop.
Dale doesn't know anything about Heidi Ho Princess.
He don't know nothing about it.
Have you seen what Tommy Richmond looks like?
Yeah, he's like kind of a cross.
A what?
Oh,
He's
wow.
like a cross of
Cross of
multiple
what?
of
Wow.
multiple things going on.
Wow.
Like my kids, but with more neck tattoo that says 444.
I don't see a tattoo on him.
He's got one.
I'm looking at him. I don't see a neck tattoo.
You look at the other neck.
Okay.
The other
If he
neck.
gets a neck tattoo, he's never going to make it in business, okay? Just so he knows. Don't do that. I don't care if you've got bajillion dollars
Okay,
from
they
music.
say they can't.
You do care.
Well, y'all should hear this. It's great. So,
That's not going to help.
Wait a
That's just
minute.
going to make it sound terrible.
they won't be able to hear.
No, they don't want. I'm not supposed to play copyrighted music on the stream. I don't know
you
if
hear
you've
Company
heard.
Mandel, John?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So wait a minute. So you're not playing it on the stream right now?
No, the
They can't hear the bop.
97.5 can hear it though.
They can't hear the bop.
Well, how? What are they hearing? While we're not talking, nothing.
They're hearing us talking, but they're not hearing any music.
They're not hearing the music.
No, we haven't played music on YouTube since we started. That's why when we come back from breaks, they don't hear music; they just hear the rejoin.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
because
didn't know that.
copyrighted music.
Well, will they hear you?
Yes, because it's not music.
Well, it was a bop.
So
Trust me.
they're going to hear Dell giving us his version of Ship Talk this week. And that's happening next, right here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Right
Oh,
now,
there's some stuff now in this one.
I'm talking. Yeah, there is some good stuff. Right now, I'm talking about Air Team. I'm talking about my peeps over, and I have met Darren and Dawn The air conditioning business, 70-plus full-time employees. They've got people that have been there 10, 15, 20, 30 years that working with them. And there's a reason for that is because they do up when you got that integrity, when you're going to give the best job you possibly can. You should see the professionalism of installing these air conditioners, people. But the thing is, you've got to work on your air conditioners, let them come, and let them maintain your air conditioners. Otherwise, you're going to have to replace them like I did. You don't want to do that. Call them. If you haven't done anything with your air conditioners lately, 713-956-8326, 713-956-8326, or airteamltd.com.
You're listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
All right, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Time for Ship Talk. What happened this weekend?
Well, yes, but we're going to start with something from one of the people who've joined our show, well, throughout the college football season, Josh Pate. He doesn't paint a very rosy picture for the future of the ACC. This was Josh Pate on his show.
The ACC is cooked. It just feels cooked. It feels like the stove's on. It feels like everything's in the pan, and you just got to slide it in at this point. And it's not a good feeling for those of us who really just wish we could leave well enough alone. There's a really good Tracy Lawrence song, When Daddy Was a Strong Man. Never got released on the radio, but that's one of the lines in there. I wish change would just leave well.
Oh, he got cut off by our system. But to his point, he went on to talk about that no matter what's going on, you got Clemson and Florida State. They really want out, and everyone else. There's a couple other teams that if they had the money, they try to get out too. And then there's like 5 or 6 teams who are like, hey guys, can we just be friends? Can we just not break this up? So yeah, we're on the verge of getting even away from a Big Four if we consider the ACC and the Big 12 in the Big Four. It's going to be a Big 2 plus the Big 12 very soon. Because the power brokers in the ACC want out. They don't see a viable way to keep moving forward. So
that's a shame. ACC basketball.
Yeah.
I mean.
And it's driven by football like everything else.
Yep.
They just
need to have football move away from everything and let everybody else go back to their conferences. Football, you just stand alone, no conferences. Just have your Division I and let all the other conferences just play all their sports the way you used to. It just is awful.
We're going to move into what happened last night in the NBA. Mike Malone, he of the Denver Nuggets, their head coach, they lose. So their championship title defense is over. Here's Mike Malone responding to what's a relatively innocuous question with let's say, an aggressive response.
Well, how hard is it just to absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20?
Next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid ass questions.
I mean, honestly. Why you got to be like that?
I mean, yeah, that wasn't, he was all in everyone's face last year. Remember that?
Yeah.
Last year, he was having his victory lap, and that was fine. But now somebody asks him, I mean, you can give it's an answer you don't want to give, and it's an answer that, in the heat of the moment, I get it. But at the same time, I mean, I guess it kind of is a stupid question, but it could have led to a good answer if he wanted it to. He just didn't feel like messing with it. He didn't feel like messing with that answer.
Well,
post-game press conferences is where a lot of ship talk is going to come in.
Yeah, people are frustrated. They're
a
losing.
lot is going to come from
They're
that.
pulling receipts if they win. We're going to move to Cat and Ant. Anthony Edwards didn't have a great game. It would have been funny. Well, it would have been interesting to see if he had lost that game, how people would have treated the next Jordan after a poor performance in a Game 7. But it didn't matter. They win. They come back from down 20 in the second half to beat the Nuggets and move on to the conference finals against the Mavericks. Here's Cat and Ant talking about, the history of losing in Minnesota.
This is for either one of you guys. And usually in NBA history, it says you have to lose and lose big before you win. What is it about this team that says
we lost last year?
Yeah, but that's different. You have to lose at a bigger stage. Usually, teams usually.
It's the playoffs. We lost last year.
We lost the last 2 years. Shit.
God damn. How much more we got to lose?
Yeah, how much you want us to lose?
We're losing for 20 years.
I mean, that's just the truth, though.
I get his question, though.
I get
his question like you, but that's
usually there's steps. Right?
He's saying they took a faster step, but so did Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Oklahoma City would say we felt the pain. We're feeling the pain this year because we only got to the semifinals, whereas the Wolves.
No, they took a step though.
Yeah, but if we're talking about a difference, OKC as a 1 seed will say this was the OKC path is probably the more traditional. And you jump to the 1 seed, you lose to an older team in the conference semifinals. The Wolves, you usually don't in your first run beat the defending champions and get to a conference finals. So I get what he's saying. They had no success, and then they get to a conference finals in their first first real run.
Right.
Yeah. Is anybody else here, by the way, happy? Do you have anything on the Pacers?
No.
The Knicks. Is anyone else happy the Knicks got beat because we don't have to hear about Mecca of basketball and that whole thing?
I root against them.
They not only got beat, they were washed from the game the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they tried to make little runs. Oh, my gosh. They gave up 130.
Well, and then Brunson goes out. I mean, we're watching it, and Jalen Brunson is on the bench and will not return. And we're like, what the?
There's no reason to watch it anymore.
No, there was no reason to watch it, I don't think, most of the game anyway.
But
Boy, did the Pacers shoot lights.
Oh, my God. They set records.
Halliburton just steps back and it looks like he's just throwing it up.
From the field, they were over 60%. From three, they were over 50%.
I mean, they were just ridiculous.
They beat the brakes off of them on the boards as well. This is a beating.
Yeah.
This is a beating.
I think this should be a pretty good series because the Pacers can score. So the Celtics.
I think people are just sleeping on the Pacers all the way around. The Pacers are not a bad team. Halliburton is a legitimate big-time player, and we'll see. Celtics have been resting for a little while now. They've had some.
Yeah.
They've had a little time off.
And they've thrown in a couple of stinkers. Now,
did you see what Halliburton wore to the post-game press conference?
Did what?
Did you see what he wore to the post-game press conference? He wore a hoodie with Reggie Miller on the front doing the choke sign.
Oh, no, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Who else is talking ship?
Well, they're pulling receipts now. Luka and Kyrie were asked a question about the trade that brought Kyrie over, and it wasn't met with sterling reviews. So the question was brought up to Luka and Kyrie, and the visuals are pretty important because Luka's like incredulous by the question, and here's Kyrie and Luka responding.
So this is a question for both of y'all, Luka, Kyrie. Y'all saw the doubters that were saying that y'all wouldn't work. Kyrie, a couple months ago, you talked about the D grade that ESPN gave y'all. Could y'all talk about just D? Yeah, they gave him a D rating for the trade from the Nets. So could y'all?
Hey man.
Yeah, I wanted to ask y'all how
into All-Star game to
how does it feel to prove the doubters wrong?
I don't think we care. We enjoy playing with each other. We enjoy playing with this team, so we don't really care what other people have to say.
Yeah, Kyrie's been pretty low-key. He's letting it feels like Kyrie's just letting. I always felt like there was a Kyrie and Kanye kind of run. There's a timeline that felt kind of similar. And now Kyrie's really backed off and just had a normal. No one hears about Kyrie playing good basketball, not causing any waves. Kanye's doing the Nazi thing and all his Kanye stuff, of course. And Kyrie's like, yeah, I had my little run. I had my little run that I had, and I'm just going to pull back and just play ball. And it's been refreshing because he's turned into a good player. It is kind of funny. The question askers are typically the muckrakers and the kind of the fans. Like, I bet you that's from a fan site, probably.
Well,
what do you think of?
I think it's a legitimate. I thought it was a legitimate question.
Yeah, but they weren't good last year. It didn't. The trade didn't look good last year. So he's bringing it up. Like, is this a recent grade that they gave?
I think he said right after the trade, so probably not. But Kyrie was a distressed asset at the time. People were questioning who would give up what for him. The thought was he would be traded, then go to the Lakers, or he wanted to be a Laker, and so on and so forth.
That was the talk.
Yeah, and he was a non-winner. Remember, he kills every organization. We're going to tank the last couple games last year, and they wound up getting Derek Lively, and he's been a big part of their run. We got one more thing, and we're going to go vintage here. It happened to pop up in my timeline over the weekend. Do you guys remember Wally Backman? You remember the name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wally Backman somehow heard the opponent's radio call talking about him losing his mind because he threw like 20-something bats on the field.
It's a minor league game, right?
Yes. So Wally Backman found the guy, and they had a confrontation.
I just wanted to know that I know what he said, so.
What I did on air was that I called it an appalling display, an embarrassment of the display.
I ain't gonna yell and scream at him or nothing. I'm just gonna tell him that that's not right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a job.
Not to say it's an embarrassment for baseball, because I'm protecting a player. That's what I was doing. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Don't ever say I'm an embarrassment to baseball. My coach was in the truck when he said that. Don't ever say that.
22 bats in the field ball, right?
I don't give a if it was 122 bats, all right? I'll shove that mic up your.
You're just gonna say a few words, huh?
Yeah, you go yourself too.
Now that's a pro, Wally Backman.
Yeah.
That's a pro.
The opposing announcer says that it's an appalling display, and Wally's going to go after him because a minor league play-by-play guy said that on the radio.
Yeah. Wasn't it Wally Backman who was hired as the Diamondbacks manager and then fired a couple days later for getting caught with coke?
Wally was off that Mets team. They were
Wally. I don't want to put this on him. But
I think you are right though. Here, I'll pull it up for you, but I'm pretty sure you're right. I don't know if I'm going to put coke on him.
I don't see that in his.
I don't see that in his.
Well, there was
who was
something
the manager?
Wally did, and maybe it was in the minor leagues.
Yeah, I'm almost positive. Who was the manager that got fired like days after he was hired?
On November 1st, 2004, Backman was promoted to manager of Arizona Diamondbacks. However, in its story about Backman's hire, the New York Times reported that Backman had serious legal and financial problems. He'd been arrested in 1999 for DUI, and a year later, he was arrested in connection with an altercation at his home. In addition, Backman had declared Chapter 7 bankruptcy. The Diamondbacks initially stood by him, but fired him November 5th 4 days later.
4 days later.
So
Yeah.
it was him.
So it was him, but not because
Not
of
coke. It was
coke.
just 4
I don't
days
wanna
after being
stand
introduced.
by you on the cocaine
His firing
allegations.
came after allegations of domestic abuse with his wife and his drunk driving in 2001. And they detailed his financial problems. I could have swore it was, but that was Wally Backman. It wasn't cocaine.
Well, I can Google Wally Backman cocaine. And
I
see what
did, and
comes
it
up.
doesn't come up.
You
It don't.
sure?
Yeah.
Nothing. He played for the '86 Mets.
He did. So
Are
yeah.
you sure?
I thought it was coke, but it wasn't. It was a domestic violence and a drunk driving. So, my bad. But yeah, he was a manager for 4 days, a major league manager for 4 days. He's still in baseball though.
Minor leagues.
Yeah, I mean, but he's made a career of it. That is saying something with his
But
background.
isn't he the one that wanted to fight? Didn't we have somebody that wanted to fight? Who was it that wanted to fight our manager when it was the Skeeters? Or was our man? No, we had Incaviglia.
Gary Gaetti?
No, we had the fighter. Did somebody want to fight Gaetti, or did Pete Incaviglia want to fight somebody?
I don't remember. Oh, Pete Incaviglia did not like you wearing your hat crooked.
That was the big deal with him.
Right, absolutely.
Who was it? It was a former major leaguer who was on
Rodney?
the roster. Fernando Rodney.
Yeah,
Fernando Rodney.
And he wore his hat ace
Tilted
deuce
to the
like that
side,
on the
yeah.
mound.
Yeah.
And to him, I mean,
Pete
to
Incaviglia ain't having that.
This couldn't have been more disrespectful to baseball. Few things could be as disrespectful as a hat turned around. Who is it who's famous who believes that's the sign of disrespect and you can't be a good quarterback if your hat's turned around?
Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd believes that you can't wear your hat
Or
backwards
be
to
an
a good
NBA
quarterback.
head coach.
What's that?
He said J.J. Redick can't be a
J.J. Redick
head
also
coach
can't
because
be
he
a good
wears
head coach if his hat's turned around backwards. There's unwritten rules to this game.
Well, I mean, it's respect in the game, okay?
Yeah.
It's respect. Let's
Yeah.
put some respect on baseball
Did
for
you
a
see
change.
Anthony? Did you see Anthony Edwards post game? He had his hat turned all the way like this, John. The disrespect in that post game press
Well, not in
conference?
basketball. That's not disrespectful.
Oh.
Just baseball is
Just
disrespectful.
baseball,
All-state siding and windows. Now, that's a different.
No disrespect here, and some of you are going to say, hey, Lance, who's the – matter of fact, I already had it happen once. Who's your window people? It's Allstate Windows and Siding, and there's going to be some of you who had some wood torn off of your homes. You may have had damage to your windows. Allstate Windows and Siding, they will be here for you. Why don't you get their double-pane, double-strength windows that are strong enough to withstand these hurricane-strength winds that frankly were a lot of people experienced them. They have windows that are specifically made for the roughest weather, and they can install those for you if you like. It's going to not only keep you protected against the elements because they're made right here in Texas. It's not a cheap product made in China. It's a product that's made here in Texas with high quality materials and great workmanship. They take your windows out without glass breakage, and the best part is it's going to lower your energy bill. So when it's very, very hot outside, these sealed windows are going to help you lower your energy bills by as much as 40%. Do the math on that. That is a big, big savings. So whether it's siding jobs you need or windows, anywhere in the house or the entire house, they've got discounts for you. And the more work you do, the bigger the discounts, and that includes complete siding jobs. It's allstatewindowsandsiding.com. That's allstatewindowsandsiding.com.
Without 92.5, left us without copy. Or those of you that are listening out west, download the app. This is the way to be a problem anymore.
Let's get to a couple sports topics. Nuggets blow that 20-point lead in the third quarter. They lose at home, Game 7. Jamal Murray and points. 69 of their points were scored by two. Be a good series. I'm looking forward to George is going to sleep.
It's kind of funny. We're
the
talking about
LeBron
this.
era is kind of
He
over
was 6
in a way.
for 24.
Yeah, I know, but not in a series.
No. He
That's
was
in
good.
one game. And you know what? He defended. He had a good fourth quarter. He hit big shots. That's what matters. He hits a big corner three. And you don't remember it when you make it through the round. You don't remember it as well.
Yeah.
Kenny Smith talked about it in a post game. He's calling it pulling him through the window or whatever. If once you get through there, it doesn't matter. You made it to the next round. So your 6 for 24 didn't matter. He did not shoot well, and he acknowledged, "Hey, I just had to defend, do my job defensively." He said he's going to be the one guarding Kyrie.
Does this change anything for you? One of the top 15 highest paid players in the NBA is in the Final Four.
Change anything with what?
Curry, Embiid, LeBron, Nikola Jokic, Bradley Beal, Durant, Lillard, Giannis, Kawhi, Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson. You know who the only one is? Who that one?
You get in the top 15 is be an older player who's been around longer because you have your max dollars are going to be higher.
Yeah. How long has Jason Tatum been around now?
He's been around longer than you think.
I know.
18,
he should be up
19?
there. Huh?
Well, he's up for an extension. Some of it has to do with getting a supermax. If you're not an All NBA player, it affects how much you make. So I'm not sure. Maybe Tatum's made a second or third. I'm not sure about that. But he's up next for an extension anyway, so he'll be up there.
He'll be in that list.
Luka's going to be up there.
Yeah, they'll both be in that list.
Build a team?
No,
because you don't have a supermax guy.
That's not the.
It's his. Maybe they'll be almost off of Luke. They drafted him
That's how
too.
you got to do it.
I mean, the Rockets.
Well, and that's where the Rockets are.
Well, that's why the Rockets can take on a big money max dollar guy right
Don't they have one already? Fred VanVleet's on this list. Then he's next up.
Yeah, yeah, but he won't after 2 years. This will be his last year. But you can afford it. You can afford to have Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. But the problem is looking at so here's the problem. If you want to get a $40 million plus player, John, look what you're dealing with. The third highest salary, you got $42.8 for Fred. Dylan is $22.2. This is for this year. Then Steven Adams, $12.6, which I guess you could use as a tradable commodity if you wanted to. Then Jalen Green, $12.4. And then Jabari Smith, $9.7. If you
dollar player, because you just have to be within a percentage. So
yeah, well, and plus the draft picks, the slotting of the draft picks.
Right.
But
So if you look at if we're comparing the Rockets' potential to what the Wolves can be, Anthony Edwards' big deal begins next year, where he starts making $35 million, and then it keeps going up. And he'll still be someone you consider underpaid if he continues on this trajectory. He'll only be making 46 only, by the way, quotes, in the final year of his deal. So by the time his next deal comes up, he's probably going to be a $65, $70 million guy. But so the Rockets are paying Fred VanVleet, they're paying and Dylan Brooks. That's about it. Now Jalen's on his rookie deal. Rockets going to an internal player or someone they acquire.
it's got to go to Alpern, doesn't it? I mean, it's got to go to Alpy. I don't see any way out of that.
Is Alperen Şengün as good as he is? Is he a guy? I'm not saying don't pay him. That's not where I'm starting. But is he a guy who you believe should be taking up that much of your salary cap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe.
So he is Anthony. So he's impactful. Anthony Edwards impactful.
Well, in a different way.
It's because Anthony Edwards is only 22, going to be 23 when he starts making his money. Alpy's going to be around that age when he starts making that money.
Alpy is the more the cat.
Is he
player.
And people have questioned. So you believe he's cat impactful?
Yeah. But maybe I think so. He rebounds, he assists, bounding, and that's not really Steven Adams. He's a big, strong guy. He can get some boards. You know, they're not really going with the explosive leaper type, but he also is going to be a little bit of a lane clogger. So I'm kind of interested how much elite offensive potential with points created, but he also is a minus defender who is not an explosive leaper from a rebound, from a quick jump rebound standpoint. Like, he's not a guy that's going to sit there and have a run of, because one thing about Jokic, Şengün isn't always like that. And if Jabari could fill out, see, what I thought was going to happen was Jabari was going to add 15 to 20 pounds of muscle in his first couple years, and he'd be a much better rebounding option, but he still gets pushed around a little bit inside. I'm still waiting for Jabari to fill out his shoulders, fill out his chest. I don't know if he's not working on it enough or if he's just not built like from a DNA standpoint to get bigger. But I thought for sure his frame was the structure of a player who could add 25 pounds of muscle. And it hasn't really happened yet.
Listen, you got to have, if you're going to give Alpy that money, you got to have a better player than Fred VanVleet at $40 million. He's been great for what he does in the leadership and all of that.
Right.
You need a better player.
Yeah, and Fred's going to be gone in a year.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, it wouldn't be the end of the world to use Fred's 40 and go in a different direction and ask Amen Thompson to you would have to worry about point guard, though, because there's not a true point guard. Like Amen right now is not a true point guard. And there's a lot of valuable things Fred VanVleet brings to the table. But, man, if you could – and I don't know if Fred VanVleet has any kind of no trade, but if you could use his – if you could deal him to a team and get a veteran along with the third pick of the draft and maybe even a future first.
I don't think –
because he's got an expiring contract.
Yeah. I don't know what the trade situation is, so we can't.
I don't either, but if you can, I'll see if I can see it in his contract. But if you can, he's at 42.8 right off the bat. You're able to make this happen quick, and maybe you can trade for a point guard as part of the deal.
Maybe you can go to Chastang Ford, and you can pick up one of the select SUVs with 2.9% financing and no payments for 90 days. What? It's a huge Chastang Ford SUV sales event. It is going on right now at Chastang Ford. Drive away in a brand new 2024 select SUV from Chastang Ford. See why the customers trust them more, okay, for their automotive adventures. They just do. I do. I know that. I know I'm going to get my best deal at Chastang Ford. I know they're going to work their tail off with the financing. How about 2.9% financing for 72 months? On select SUVs. No payments for the first 90 days. Get in, get going. Don't worry about payments until next season. Basically, yeah, you got 3 months to go to be driving this car around before you got to pay. Okay, that is awesome. Time to check it out at the SUV sales event, Ford SUV sales event at Chastang Ford. I'm pretty sure, I don't know that this is happening at other dealerships. I do know that Chastang Ford is going to do whatever, it's going to give you the most they possibly can, okay? Going to do as much as they possibly can to make sure that you get into that Ford truck or SUV or car at the best possible price they can get you. No payments for 90 days. You kidding me? 72 months to pay this thing off. What? 2.9% financing. All to ChastangFord.com on 610 at Homestead, not Hempstead, 5 minutes from downtown Chastang Ford.
Hope and power gets on for everybody as quickly as possible. You need that air conditioner running, and you need to be cooled. It's really, really hot. For some of you out there, your power may have gone down for a little bit, and you got really hot, and then the power came back on, and it just took forever to cool. You just couldn't get the house cool. That may be a sign of what's to come for you this summer, of AC running nonstop, and you don't get the house cool. And one of the reasons is because your AC just may need a tune-up. And my friends over at Vanderford Air can come up, tune up your system, go through everything, make sure everything's running properly, or to replace. So if you know that you find out what the finance options, COOL.
From the Veritex Community Bank Studio.
Devin Booker in exchange for Jalen Green, shooting guard for shooting guard, the third pick of the draft.
Devin Booker ain't coming here.
The third pick of the draft. I'm not done. Well, Jalen can run some point.
But Jalen is not a point guard.
Listen, Jalen is
they
a
can
1
have Fred
or
Van
2. We can give you Fred Van Vliet for Booker.
Yeah,
we'll give you that. That's fine. We'll need a point guard then, because now I don't believe Jalen Green can play point now that we've made that trade.
Devin Booker said he wants to have a statue outside.
Yeah, he is their non-title winning version of Steph Curry.
Yeah,
he is the franchise. They're not trading.
They're not trading.
Could I interest you in?
No, you probably not.
No, I don't want Bradley Beal. Don't want Kevin Durant. I keep wanting to make these trades, and when you look through everyone's roster, it's tough without taking on an old player that you're not sure you still want. I mean, even guys like, Dame is 34, Chris Middleton's 33. But look how old Milwaukee is. Their top 4 players, 34, 30, 33, 36. Brook Lopez, Middleton, Giannis, and then Dame Lillard working my way up. Bobby Portis is 29, and Pat Connaughton is now 32. My gosh, man, these guys get old quick. The 76ers, I don't know what Daryl has done to this roster. It's unbelievable. They only have 4 people on their active roster.
Well, he said that. We only got 4.
Clearing out cap space.
That's it.
Well, okay. Well, they're minus $109 million in cap space. What's he done? Their players are 30.
What do you mean they're minus?
25, 27, and 23. They're all young. The cap hold, current cap numbers, these are the free agents. Tobias Harris, 32. So
they're not bringing him back.
Okay. Then maybe I need to look at free agent, but they're not going to have free agent money. You need a sign and trade for the Rockets. You're going to have to get a sign and trade.
So
I guess I could go in. The odds are they go into next year the same. I thought maybe, and I still think there's a chance that Jalen gets dealt in a deal pre-draft or even draft day. But the more I look at how this is going to happen, I think it's going to have to be something tricky. I think you almost have to have some type of sign and trade, and then the numbers don't immediately hit, though, with the sign and trade. So I think they may just go into battle next year with the same team, draft a third player, and figure it out. I mean, there's a massive glut for playing time. I don't know how it works out. If you draft Klingon, for example, from UConn, who would be a nice addition.
Is that redundant with getting Steven Adams?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I don't know. It is. Well, he's a different player.
I don't
than
think
Steven
Shepard
Adams.
would be redundant.
No, but they say Shepard is not a third pick.
But did you see the stats on
Shepard?
Shepard?
Down.
How much better they were with him on the floor without him on the floor?
Who, Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's college.
No, I know, but still, I mean, he's a
get-
difference maker on the floor.
Okay, you playing Shepard ahead of Whitmore?
No, but it's not like you don't have enough minutes.
Whoever you pick is not going to get minutes.
Well, what do you mean? Well, there were plenty of minutes there's plenty of minutes.
Okay,
available.
with Tari,
you can't if you get a good player. There's
you
minutes.
say there's plenty of minutes. I'm just gonna run down the roster. You tell me who doesn't get to play anymore. You have 48 minutes, and here are the players. You have Fred Van Vliet, you have Jalen Green, you have Cam Whitmore, and you have Amen Thompson. 4 guys in the backcourt. You have 48 minutes for 2 positions. So you have 88. You have 96 minutes for 4 players. And now we're going to add a 5th one. How do you spread those minutes out? 96 total minutes for that position.
You mix and match guys. I mean,
I understand that.
I mean, listen.
Who sits?
Is he going to go 9 deep? I mean, well, Jayshawn Tate played last year. I don't know if you remember.
Well, because Tari was out.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing Tari back in injury. I've gone through this exercise. It's hard. Think about this. You have 96 minutes. How many does Fred Van Vliet get?
You have 96 minutes for what 2 positions?
For 1 and the 2. And I just gave you 4 players that play that position. Cam Whitmore, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, and Amen Thompson. There's 4 players who play.
Amen could play Amen on the floor with Jalen.
And so you have those 3 guys.
And you can go.
And let's just say Jay Sean Tate, 4.
Yeah. And sometimes you can go small without Alpy and
then you
Steven
have
Adams on the floor.
Alpy, Steven Adams. I've done this math and tried to figure it out, and this is where I came to the conclusion. If you do this math and you say there's a certain amount of minutes and you have players and you pull in, either Cam Whitmore can't play anymore, not a whole lot. He's down to like 14 minutes a game or 12 minutes a game. Somebody has to have their minutes cut. If you bring in a player right now that you want to play right now, then somebody has to get minutes taken.
And so will Tari. Tari's going to have a lot of – yep. So will Tari.
Tari and Dylan Brooks. Well, I said Tari, Dylan Brooks, Jabari, and then,
I think Jabari is probably a guy that's going to find. He's going to be –
your 3rd pick of the draft 2 years ago?
Yep.
No longer can get
No, I
playing
didn't
time?
say that. I mean, he'll be
somebody.
25 to 28 minutes.
Then move somebody. I would much rather have, instead of 10 guys sharing minutes, I'd rather have a strong 7 to 8 man rotation.
I mean, you're not even taking it. Listen, Tari didn't play last year. Ahmed missed time last year. Alpy missed time last year. There's injuries too to account for.
No, I'm not saying I don't want to be deep. I mean, you got to have a bench, but those guys need to be okay with not playing. And they're not. It's not considered a strong draft, by the way.
No,
I mean,
no,
Klingon is probably going to take on Landale minutes, which would be fine with me, and that's reasonable.
I think Steven Adams gets those minutes. That ain't.
You think so? You think that Ime Udoka is going to take Steven Adams, who he handpicked, and he's going to sit him on the bench?
So I said Steven Adams.
Zone or
if it's the coach, you're always.
Ime has a lot of input.
Yes. Then I think he is not one.
I think it's a.
I'm sure it's a commit for the future in Steven Adams. It feels like a scenario where he will do everything possible to get rid of the 3 and consolidate this roster and go find him. I don't know if he gets a star.
That's what.
But a real player here.
Yeah. I think he wants a guy. He wants somebody enough play. There's not enough minutes, and frankly, I'm not sure how much value the 3 pick has. So you trade it with one of your young players, and you move on. And to me, I think Jabari, I think Tari, I think everybody other than Şengün for me would be up for. Well, I'd listen to offers for anybody. I mean, I'm not sure I'm touching Amen.
No.
I think Amen's got a chance to be special.
I don't think here's the guys that I don't think Amen's touchable, Tari's touchable, Alpy's touchable.
Untouchable or touchable?
They're untouchable.
Why Tari though?
They love
Tari is a big concern.
Everybody's untouchable until the right star comes along. And Şengün may be isolated from my theory here, but if the right star that they believe in isn't just, hey, we're a second round team at best. If they believe there's a star capable of elevating them to contender, all those guys can go, probably except Şengün, if the right guy comes along.
What's the right guy?
That's a question.
That's a question.
It's a guy Lance is talking about who's never coming out of Phoenix.
Is Craig DeSurf the right guy?
Yeah, he's 100% the right guy when it comes to your vehicles, including your pickup trucks, GMC Sierra pickup truck, the Chevy Silverado. But I want to focus for a second on Buick. Do you know what kind of offers they have right now for the Buick Encore? It's a joke. You're stealing with Core, and frankly, I think he liked the Encore a little better, just like the fact that he had a little bit more interior space with the Buick Envision. That's what it comes down to. What is your monthly payment going to be? What is your finance rate going to be? Are you going to do a lease? Do you want more interior space? What kind of mileage am I getting? All these questions have to be answered. So when you go into the car dealership and you head down to Angleton, it's about a 42-minute trip from downtown, you can ask all the questions, and they can help you the same way they helped my son. I kind of stayed out of it because I wanted him to have, except when I needed to jump in, I wanted him to have his own car buying experience, and then every once in a while I'd ask a question that he had never thought of so he could think about it. That's very, very valuable to have someone there who's thinking about you, and that's what they do at Gulf Coast Chevy Buick GMC. It's never about they're going to sell you a vehicle that they want to get off the lot. It's really all about making sure that they are going to get the best deal possible for you, that you're happy. Bigger trade-in values, the best dealer, cash back and dealer incentives. So make sure that you go to LanceZcars.com. That's LanceZcars.com.
You are listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
Welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. I'm watching us hit Bush into the wall, and then Bush came up from behind him and pushed him right back in and knocked him out of the race.
So those two, there's a camera. Somebody is following behind, almost like you'd see on a World Star video,
right?
Where somebody goes to somebody's house and knocks on a door and gets some girl to come outside and they beat her up. That's what it was like, only this time it was Bush walking over to, is it Stenhouse or Stonehouse?
Stenhouse.
So he's walking over to Stenhouse. Stenhouse got a T-shirt on his shorts, and he sees him coming, and he walks over to him, and they start talking, and it's like they're not yelling at each other, but they're describing what happened. And one guy thinks, he goes, look, I never pushed you at all. Stenhouse says he never pushed Bush at all. Does it look like he did?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you. He goes, I didn't touch you. Bush felt fairly certain. And at some point, Bush and Stenhouse are talking. Stenhouse says something, and it looks like it's just going to end in kind of a relatively heated. And Stenhouse throws a right. He just throws a right cross, and then it's on.
Like Bush calmly disagrees with his final words, and then Stenhouse just punched him.
He didn't like the look on his face.
Yeah, he didn't.
That is a punch.
Kyle Busch's face, though. A
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
people.
saying.
A lot of people want to punch Kyle Busch's face.
This is what it was. This is 100%. Stenhouse doesn't look like the smarmy look of Kyle Busch's face. A lot of people don't like Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a race fan, and I know this. So basically, Stenhouse just said, "You've got a punchable face, and I'm going to punch it."
Right.
That's exactly what happened.
Dad got involved.
Yeah, his dad.
Stenhouse's dad looks like he threw a little right at first.
He's get my dad, get my
dad. I know Stenhouse is going, "Get my dad."
And they're like,
Your
"Get
dad
off
was
of him."
handling himself just fine.
No, he was good, actually. I got his dad against Kyle Busch.
And all the different crews are weighing in and trying to get people. My favorite part is, get off his truck. Get off his truck.
Now, who was that? Were those? That's a different racer.
Well, they're on top of a truck.
And that's a different racer, and he's telling,
No,
get
it
off
wasn't.
my
It wasn't
truck.
It wasn't a different. It was Kyle Busch's crew.
That's his pit crew in green?
Get off his truck. Get off his truck.
It was good watching, like, I got to see what is the makings of, behind the scenes. That's as close as we've seen. You had cameras.
Yeah, so
I
many
saw
angles.
both angles of it, by the way.
I saw 3 or 4 angles.
Three angles, yeah.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. I mean, that's
just racing. We just say that's just racing.
That's just racing.
Yeah.
Rubbing is racing.
If you ain't
they
rubbing,
say.
you ain't racing.
I didn't watch, what was that show called? Thunder or
Thunder Road? No.
No, it's Tom.
Thunder Alley?
No, it's Tom Cruise.
Thunder Thighs?
No, not Thunder Thighs.
Thunder Thighs.
Well, whatever the racing show
Days
was.
of Thunder. It was a movie. Days of Thunder.
Is it Days of Thunder?
Blades of
No, it's not.
Blades
That's
of
Blades
Glory.
of Glory. That's an ice skating.
Racing, but I don't know.
Well, that's the movie, Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah,
you're talking
isn't
about.
it?
Yeah, I didn't
Isn't that
watch
it?
that.
I don't know if that's where that's from, but the Tom Cruise racing movie is Days of Thunder.
I didn't watch it.
And that's where it came from.
Cole
What's
Trickle,
a movie? Well, I don't know. What's a movie that you? What's a very popular movie that you've never watched?
There are movies I don't like. I've never watched Step Brothers.
You haven't?
No.
So you just don't like that kind of.
I don't
comedy.
like Will Ferrell.
You don't
You don't like. I'm not a big Will Ferrell guy either.
I am.
More times than not, I think
That's
you
a
miss
good.
it.
No, Step Brothers is good.
There's funny stuff.
There's
in that,
funny stuff in
but I
Step
mean,
Brothers.
John C. Reilly's also really good.
Yeah.
You can't just have
And
Will Ferrell unchecked. And of course, the other thing was
Ricky Bobby was excellent.
I like that movie, but I've only seen it like once. I don't care for Will Ferrell enough to go back and
Well,
watch his
what's the
stuff.
movie? Have you seen Heat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna. He watches.
You've
movies.
seen all the Godfather. No, I know. What I'm asking, what would be something?
That's
we'd
why
be
I said Step Brothers.
What's your favorite part from the Godfather movie?
The masculine son one?
No, it's the one where where they talk about where
they
they're
have
selling,
a meeting of all the bosses.
where they talk about where they're going to sell their drugs, and they're like, "Well, yeah, we'll do it."
It's the most he quotes.
Yeah, I quote that all the
Okay,
time.
what's the Denzel movie with where he's Frank, whatever, the heroin dealer from Harlem?
I actually haven't seen that one.
What?
You haven't seen
I've
it?
seen clips.
American
Gangster.
Gangster.
I've never
Gangster.
seen
You've
the whole
never seen
thing.
American
I've seen like
Gangster?
clips when I've never sat down
Have
and
you
watched
seen
the whole
American
thing.
Gangster?
I've seen it, yeah.
Now that's one I'm surprised you haven't seen American Gangster. Definitely worth watching. Have you ever seen New Jack City?
No.
Of course, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it.
Am I
John's
my
not-
brother's keeper?
It's not worth seeing right now for you. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
It doesn't really carry over. Now you know what I am trying to get my kids to watch, and they're like, "It's too old," and I'm like, "But it still
Blood
works."
in, blood out.
Well, of course, Blood in, Blood out
Right.
it still carries. But what about? I think White Men Can't Jump would still work, and I know they remade it with stupid old. What's Post Malone's little friend's name? Jack Harlow. I know they remade it with Jack Harlow, but I think the old White Men Can't Jump with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson would still work. I think my kids who love. Oh, really?
Yeah, and we're doing it on Arsenio's show, and neither of them were very good, actually.
Really?
In real life.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. No, neither of them were real good. But yeah, I think that movie holds up.
I think that movie still holds up because it's just about like pickup game culture, and I think there's enough to it. I think and Rosie Perez was. Man.
Yeah.
There was a scene there in that one after a pickup game, but it doesn't last long, but it's a good scene. Yeah, I think I don't know if there's a movie. I don't know what the movie would be that I like. Thunder Road racing movies I won't typically watch.
No.
I don't watch. I saw the first Avatar.
Unless
Didn't
somebody's
watch
named
Avatar
Ricky
2.
Bobby. Then,
don't like any of the movies. Like I don't care about. I care about. I like dystopian. What I found out is I like dystopian shows. I do like dystopian shows, like
what?
28 Days or 28 Days Later. Like remember that one where everyone's zombies?
Yeah,
that movie's good. Where Cillian Murphy wakes up and he's like, "What the hell's going on?" That's a good one. I do like, obviously, The Last of Us is okay, but it's a dystopian show. I like dystopian shows.
I didn't like that.
Children of God, dystopian show.
As long as you keep it respectable. I don't want it near kids or schools.
He went and looked up he's basically looking up the scene.
I don't want it near kids in school.
Where do you want it? Where do you want the drug sales?
Let those people do it. They're animals anyway.
Let them something.
I
their
thought I was just
soul.
watching a pretty good movie. Now, what am I watching?
Hey, wait a minute.
Hey.
Hey, Godfather, I didn't know this was going to get racial.
Hey, I thought a crime.
Well, out of nowhere.
I'm watching you guys. This is a mob movie. What do I have to do with
all
this?
the families come together. I'm just, hey, this is a pretty good scene. And then Don Salucci gets to this. What am I watching?
Or like,
man, they could have left that part out.
Have you watched all the Tarantino movies, John? Have you watched?
Love Tarantino. I love
Django
Guy
Unchained?
Ritchie movies. Yeah.
Django Unchained?
Yes.
Very good. Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
You
I
watched
love
that?
all. I
What
watch
about
them.
Hateful Eight?
Yes,
Some
absolutely.
people haven't seen Hateful Eight.
seen
That's
it.
good. Walt Goggins is so good.
No,
and everything.
I love all Guy Ritchie and Tarantino movies. I mean, I think some are better than others, obviously.
Yeah. Jackie Brown?
No, I don't think I've seen Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown. There's a couple scenes. So you
I think I've seen part. I
make a joke about feet or whatever.
I've seen Jackie
Fonda.
Brown.
What's her name?
Jane Fonda.
Jane.
No.
No.
The Fonda daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He makes when she was in prime.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, why don't we do this with your feet up? Yeah, and don't wash them. I want them dirty. Like, supposedly she said he wouldn't let me wash my feet. He wanted them to be dirty. And I'm like, now that's a guy with the foot thing.
He does. He's
right
got a foot
there.
thing.
He wanted them on screen, dirty.
I like pretty
He had
feet.
close-ups of her feet. It was like, Quentin, man, be
But
more
that's-
subtle about it.
Yeah.
No.
It was in we got to go to break, but his last one with Brad Pitt and I forget the name all the time. Brad Pitt and
Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like Margaret.
And she's
Brad-
a dirty foot girl, too.
Her feet are just up. I'm like, all right, Quentin. All right.
Oh, yeah. No, he's not subtle about it at all.
He likes
I think
dirty.
we need to have
I
his
like dirty feet.
up.
Yeah,
I like dirty feet.
He likes dirty feet.
Time for me to talk about safes and locks, and that's Houston Safe and Lock. It's also King Safe and Lock. They're 2 in 1. Houston Safe and Lock is one's in the city where you actually, I don't know where the other guys get their safes, but American security safes are the best safes in the world. Half the safes in this city come from either King or Houston Safe and Lock, because that they're just better. They're just bigger and better than everybody. So if you need a safe or you need anything to do with a safe, you need to open a safe, do you need to convert dial lock to digital or vice versa, changing the combination on the lock codes, able to anchor and bolt. Do you need it bolted? Do you need it moved? Because a lot of moving companies won't move safes, but Houston Safe and Lock will do that. Look, you got to say, if you need a safe, period, exclamation point, there's one place to go. And oh, by the way, if you need any locks changed, a commercial especially, if you're a business and you need locks, this is the place to go. They got a wide range of everything you could possibly need. 713-522-5555. Tell Derek you heard it right here, or go to 975safe.com. Yeah. So watched Menace to Society last night. Still got it. Any Francis Ford Coppola? Kevin Costner has some good joints coming out soon. Okay. All right. Thanks, Art. I didn't think you'd be a Francis Ford Coppola guy, Art, but okay.
Why?
I don't know. He doesn't like white people.
Well, he doesn't like Cannes for his latest movie. I forgot what it's called.
Is that what they're calling it now? It's just Cannes?
I think
Cannes Film Festival.
Film Festival. Not Comic-Con.
Is it Comic-Con or Cannes Film Festival?
I thought it was Cannes.
It's Cannes Film Festival.
Is it Cannes?
But I thought maybe Comic-Con.
That's America.
Since Comic-Con's not really
my redneck partner.
Comic-Con's not really just about.
He's he's in Ricky Stenhouse.
Ricky Stenhouse. He's in mode. He's in Ricky Stenhouse mode right now.
Yeah. Cannes.
No one did anything to you, okay? No one did. It's Cannes Film Festival. CAAN.
Is it Cannes?
That's what we call it.
The French probably pronounce it
because we don't want
Cannes.
it mixed up with Comic-Con. Although, since it's not all comics anyway, I figured they would just call it Con.
Would, but we don't have enough time during breaks.
That's where Ricky wants.
Yeah.
says.
Ricky's crew chief.
Right. Yeah, so, okay, we're actually close in the game this time.
Well, she had a nice
I'm going to predict
night.
She actually did shoot more, and
I want you to mark
she
this
was more
now.
aggressive early.
Mark this now. There is going to be a time this year where she is going to have she's going to get frustrated with playing with a bad team. She's going to get frustrated with hearing how she's just mid or whatever and all of her turnovers, and she's going to have something where she blows up on the court because we already started seeing that at Iowa.
Well, there's a clip out there, I think from her most recent game, where it looks like her coach is saying, we'll get there. Like she's not thrilled with her teammates' inability to catch her passes.
They are terrible at catching
yes.
her passes.
Yes, so we know how turnovers work. If you're on
the upper deck, and they were going for $4 a piece.
Ooh.
Couldn't sell them.
Yeah, I got news for you. This isn't lasting forever.
No, but the Liberty game was the biggest
as far
crowd
as and revenue that they generated at a football stadium.
No, both of them did.
I think a football stadium.
No, both of them did.
I think both of them.
Both of them did.
Iowa did too.
Yeah.
Before the year started. In the football stadium.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Boy, she is something. But you can see she can't do. They lost 102-66.
That team stinks.
Yeah, it is. And in the next game, they only lost by 11. Do you think maybe the Liberty let off?
I don't know. Well, she got off to a better start, right? So that helped the cause. But they're bad, and there was a reason. Look, unless you're, I don't want to do the cross-sport comparison, but bad basketball teams, even when they draft really good young players, tend to still be bad. And she's going to be good, but I don't think she's going to be transformational because that team blows.
They're bad. Yeah, they're going to get the number one pick again, and we'll see.
At least they'll be in the lottery. I think that's how it goes. I think they have a lottery for the pick.
I
think
they should let them have the number
Just
one.
give it to them.
Just give it to them.
You want Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark on the same team?
Would that
next
be
year?
something?
Yeah,
that'd be something. Now we're talking about selling some tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just bad, really bad basketball to watch. Well, ESPN's put them on almost all of their games.
The
is
league needs to
national.
go frozen envelope because
all I'm telling you,
that league needs Caitlin Clark to be good on a good team.
You put Paige Beckers on camera, Brink's LA team. There are ways. You can LA team. Find a way.
Be on a good team.
But David Stern gave it to the Knicks. He gave it to his big market team.
Right. But they needed for Caitlin to have it. Is there anything else we missed?
Well, Tyson Fury got beat. Knocked down, beat. So you had that going on. Diddy's in trouble. Let's see. Nothing Astros. We've covered that. We covered Jake. Nothing football related that I can think of happened. We're on to the Western and Eastern Conference Finals in basketball. We covered the fight, the fight in the in the pits.
Covered the Astros.
You see Skeens, by the way. Was that Friday or was that Thursday? His last start?
Oh, yeah. Did you see him, Monterey?
Wow. Skeens is under one.
Yep.
On his, no, that's a whip. Yeah, he's with that ERA. Whew.
Yeah.
That's low.
Yeah. It's really good.
Really, really low. You see Ellie De La Cruz has over 30 steals already?
He's had 4 in a game.
He's bringing back the steals.
Yeah,
he's stealing third now on people.
He's the
He's
most
on
fun
pace for over
player in
100,
baseball.
Without question.
It's not even on.
He's on pace for over 100 steals this year.
Yep.
When is the last time that we've had over 100 steals? I don't know the answer. I don't think Vince Carter ever got to 100. I think it's Ricky.
What? Oh, yeah. He's on pace from who was it last? This is a
Ricky got it in 80. There's a lot of 1800s. Boy, they ran a lot in the 1800s. I'll take it back. Vince Coleman Vince Coleman did it. The last one, let's see, in 80. Vince Coleman actually did it. He had over 100 steals a few times. 1987 was the last time that we had over 100 steals. We have not had over 100 steals since the 1980s. It's never happened since the 1980s. 1987 was the last time that a player had 100 steals. You haven't had a player get to 90 steals since the 1980s. Going
in a season since Kenny Lofton.
There's not even no one's even hit 19. There's no one since the 1990s has even hit 80 steals.
Really? Huh. Well, here we go. Ellie, let's go. 945 ESPN, 97.5 and 92.5. News of the Weird coming your way next.
Jose Reyes, 78 steals. It'd be the most steals since Jose Reyes was 78 in 2007.
Time for you. Underdog
Higher fantasy,
or
you
lower?
go higher on stolen bases. For Ellie De La Cruz, they have stats like that. I'm telling you, higher or lower. You pick between 2 and 5 players on the Pick'em Challenge on baseball, on basketball. It's great right now to pair up your baseball and your basketball. You're watching your playoffs. You're really studying game by game. You go higher or lower with the statistics. I'm going to give you a little hint. Everyone goes higher, higher, higher. Don't be afraid to go lower. Study the matchups. You may find a very good advantage and go lower. Go lower with some of those scorchers as well. You'll see a little chili pepper next to them. Those are called scorchers. Those are the ones that have multipliers as well that can get you to a higher payout quickly. You can win up to 100 times your original play. 100 times your original play when you play Underdog Fantasy. And it's completely legal here in the state of Texas. It's real money. And when you use promo code Lance, they're going to double your first deposit up to $100. But listen, playoff basketball is going on. You've got baseball. We're in the middle of the baseball season. Man, mix and match. You even have some of the Caitlin Clark props that are out there, or the highs and lows that are out there. Go higher or go lower on some of the statistics and make real money picking between 2 and 5, or even jump into the early season. 18 or older and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms and conditions apply. If you feel like you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Yeah,
pull it in here.
Pin two.
Yeah,
it was AOC.
There were 3 of them. AOC,
MTG.
and then
he grabbed it
and ran.
Took off running. Like, don't we have
like
another
there's
copy
no
of this?
copies.
This is on a drive somewhere. Oh my God! No, it didn't auto save.
And then one guy got thrown over the. I mean, it was wild.
It gets wild. This is as wild. Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about somebody's
eyelashes.
In the other countries.
Oh, they get physical.
It's yeah.
Apparently, Parents are upset after 8th graders are asked to rate Adolf Hitler's attributes and an Atlanta school speaker. How would you rate Adolf Hitler as an ethical decision maker?
He's putting this out there just so kids can say 0?
Actually, they had to come out.
Yes.
He was
you
driven.
Can't say he was driven.
No question, he was driven.
Single-minded
is that positive?
Single-minded is
I don't
not
feel like that's
too
positive.
No. Single-minded, no.
No.
No. I don't know if we did this one. Yeah. A Penn Cavalry Commander Turner Stonewall was on Don't Be. That's a Confederate name.
You think so?
Stonewall.
I thought about that. It just feels like an old-timey name. I couldn't figure if it would be.
No, that sounds like
just heritage.
There's heritage.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
Okay.
It's part. We can't change it.
Well,
it happened.
You did change it. Now you're changing it back, so
Right.
you can't change it. I just wanted to know.
Right.
Because you had to put in some effort, so they just want to honor their heritage.
I'm not that sure that we should honor that heritage.
Well,
but
they've decided. We're not. Virginians have decided.
Do you know where Grandma, your neighbor, was recently? Elderly woman who was groping him. You know, a lot of times though, I don't think they understand there might be a girl in that suit.
Yeah, I don't know what you're attempting to do, Grandma.
Yeah, you want to get you some goofy.
You want to get you some goofy.
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
Might be surprised about what you get once the head comes off.
Louisiana becomes the first state to require the 10 Commandments be posted in classrooms.
Explain that to an 8-year-old.
Thou shalt not what?
That's not in the. Is it?
Covet.
Lie?
They need to know now not to covet thy neighbor's wife. All right?
Thou shalt not lie is not in the commandments. Apparently, you can do it.
What about school commandments?
Honor thy mother and father.
Thou shalt
That
not
is
bring
there.
digital means of
Thou shalt not steal.
of communication into the class.
No, that's not in the. I don't believe that's in one
What
of
if
the
there's a new commandments of school?
Wait.
Thou shalt not bring phones into class. No punching teachers.
Some people might say they
Those are good
they consider their phone a
I know.
god.
Those should be in every
Those should be
classroom.
in there.
Well,
No punching teachers.
Would you think they consider their phone a god? Thou shalt not have no other gods before me.
Yes.
Yes.
No. 100% it's their God.
Yeah.
Try to take a phone. Try to let the Wi-Fi be down in a.
Well, we heard Frankie call in.
Frankie called in because Wi-Fi's down, Dad.
Iconoclast.
Yeah.
She's worshiping a false god, John.
I know she is.
Called the Wi-Fi connection. Called 5G. No, 5G is not a Wi-Fi.
That's not.
What's the? Well, I mean, it's your tower. connection, yeah.
5G is a cellular.
It's a cell
service.
connection.
Yeah. well, that's what. Turn off your Wi-Fi, and now you got cellular.
What if they started jamming signals? Because what's your argument to that?
That's
Dan?
all.
Is there something along the lines of thou shalt not disrespect the next host? Because you would never treat Paul this way. Wrap it up.
That's it. No. I've gotten an earful before going long.
An earful?
Mopey and Mapes next, right here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
Small accounting.
2 out of 3 from the Brewers. We'll get into that. Phones still do not work. So if you want to, what we're saying, talk to us, you can tweet at us. You certainly can watch the stream as well. Sean and I will answer your OnlyFans questions on Twitter as opposed to over the phone today. Eric, you've got an Astro question. It has to be done that way, at least for now, until the phones are ready and operational. But Sean, you were here on Friday. On Thursday night, you were without power going into Friday. Where do you stand now?
Powerful. I got power Saturday afternoonish. The 20th century, really.
All you would need is a couple apes running around talking to you. It would have been like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I was close.
Yeah.
I was close. No, thank God I haven't been working on any Alzheimer medication, or else things would have gotten hairy.
Yeah. Has anything gone well for John for Franco since that point? I said John Franco, the pitcher, but I mean
James Franco.
James Franco. Yeah.
His son.
Yeah.
No, not really.
No.
Yeah. So it was nice to be reintroduced to the sports world. We were texting on Thursday night when I had no power, and I was like, I have no ability to watch anything, so I will be doing my job uninformed, and
it's fine.
Luckily for me, the station was at.
When we got here that morning, about 40 minutes, and then it blipped out, and then it came back for a little bit, and then it was gone. We got word, I think, what was it, Friday at 5 that the station, or was it Saturday at 5 that the station was back? Joe sent us a text and said we were back, and I think that happened. He sent it to everyone, and it was later than you would have wanted for a station in town for that to happen. But we're good. We're good again. So hopefully, if you do have power and things aren't in a way where you're living through a weekend plus without it, you're listening, and certainly baseball. Contreras battled Verlander on Saturday. For now an extended stretch. I think until they were still 10 games back of the leaders in the AOS. That has certainly changed. They're now only 4 games back, and I think that's funny. The conversations that are now happening about the team. They're playing well, and they're within striking distance. We're only 4 games back. I thought it was still early. Isn't it still early? What does it matter if you're 4 games back? Just play good baseball, and that's really all that's mattered to me. They're playing great baseball, actually, not just good baseball. They're getting contributions from the likes of Jake Myers, who Dana Brown will look at you and say, I told you about Jake Myers. Taylor Scott, who has probably been their best pitcher in the bullpen this year. Another one of the finds. So it's been, what you would hope Brian Abreu is from Taylor Scott like you have all year long. 4 games back. The Angels are coming to town. That's a bad baseball team. And now you can officially start calling other teams bad baseball teams. Other than like the White Sox and the Marlins, you couldn't just, as a national fan, call another team a bad baseball team when you are one yourself. You couldn't look at someone as an easy touch or a soft touch as far as a series. But now you can. The way you're playing and the way the Angels really have been for the better part of a decade, you can say that's a series we should take. And we'll just continue a pretty good run. So why is Jose Abreu going to be part of this team again? Sean has already dubbed him the bad vibes guy. And the vibes, whether they were bad or not, the team started playing his play in what the complex league has improved enough that he should be getting major league at bats and taking them away from John Singleton. What does that mean for Loperfido, where he's not a first baseman, but with Abreu here, does that mean Loperfido is no longer part of the big club? He talked about Abreu and performing better, and he said it'd be like someone asking my mother about me and her going like, yeah, he's a great kid. What else is he gonna say? You have to have been a terrible person for your mother not to have a positive word to say about you. And I feel like, at least as far as the Astros are concerned, Jeff Bagwell's a pseudo mother to Jose Abreu in this case. He's going to defend him. He's going to support him. Bagwell gave a really good report on him. I'd be out after that. Nothing you say after Bagwell gave a really good report on him, I'm going to listen to.
For that reason, I'm out.
I'm out. You say that, I'm out. Because is there anyone else in the organization who has given a good report? Is Jeff Bagwell watching every swing? Is he down in Florida? Is he getting the Zoom footage? Because these games are...
I saw a picture, boots on the ground with Jose Abreu. So it's even more like he's his mother. or it's almost like spinning, like your aunt and uncle who lived in Bel Air.
I would use my dad, but my dad would be like, he's not that great of a kid. He would say that if he felt that way. He's all right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, if he felt that way, I don't put it past him to go, you know what? He could have done better. I could have done better raising him.
Yeah,
Look at him.
He's not just pointing the finger out. He's
pointing it. Yeah,
he'll point the finger.
I let him think he could live his dream, and now he's in radio.
I pumped too much belief in this kid.
I allowed him to think he could be whoever he wanted to be, and of course he decided on being a radio guy. And now look at him. So Dana Brown goes on to say his timing is back. We'd like to see him play a little bit more and really fine tune it. Hopefully his timing is back. You just said his timing is back. Now it's hopefully his timing is back. What are you saying? I guess hopefully his timing is back on the major league level, while currently in the complex league, his timing is back. Of course, at last check, Friday. Great. Things are going so well, too.
Do you think that, listen, we got the season sort of back on track, back in striking distance.